Hey traders, John Howell here. Today, let's have a look at the markets. I'm going to be looking across all the markets today, and I'm going to be sharing with you what I'm seeing right now on obviously the indices, looking at obviously the metals, the miners, and I want to be sharing something with you when it comes to actually just understanding these markets a bit more, and just to give you some tools and I guess some strategies to help you have a much better chance of having a more of a successful trading career. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so see that trading course there on that screen there? You can get free access to that free. I think it's the first link in the description. Click on that. And also, if you would actually like to get my help more personally, you can actually get the Super Trader Formula, which simply means you can actually book a call with me for free call, and then I'll personally walk you through that Super Trader Formula. Very first thing in the description there, guys. Click on that and go get access to that right now. So let's start off with the good old indices right now. So the indices, if I actually look at the indices, and actually let me start off with this by saying this, guys, okay? A lot of people say, John, why don't you use the indicators? Why don't you use indicators? Let me ask you a question. Do you think the big, massive hedge funds that trade, that have like billions of dollars going through these markets every day, do you think they say, whoa, look at the stochastic says, oh, that means we should buy it? It's like, no, right? No, if you actually look at the most successful traders on the planet, right? We're talking like people like Paul Tudor Jones, right? People that make, and Paul Tudor Jones is obviously up there, but if you look at the most successful traders on the planet, you'll be able to see that majority of their decision comes from the market itself, right? Because the market is the footprint of what actual people are doing in the market, right? It's not the indicators. So therefore, it's so important to actually have a really good understanding of just the chart, and obviously looking at trend analysis and not using indicators. And so I used to trade like this. This is how I used to trade, like this. But I always got confused. It didn't really serve me that well. But then when I switched over to something like this, and what I do is that I usually just normally have just one moving average on there to see what's going on from there. Make sense? So let's actually get into the S&P 500. And the reason why I wanted to share that with you guys is because I think a lot of people, they really like, John, but where's your MAC? What's the MACD saying? It's like, guys, if you actually want to be doing really well, right, let's actually model success. And like for me, I model my mentor who makes millions and millions of dollars every single year from trading. Every year from trading, right? We're talking like 2, 3, 4, sometimes $500,000 a month in profits, right? And so when you start to model someone like that, it's like, how did he become successful? And then you start to model success, right? So, and again, if you look at the big hedge funds out there, they're not saying, well, the RSI is about to cross over, let's go. It's like, it doesn't work like that, right? Again, majority of the decision actually comes from the footprint of the actual market itself. So let's actually focus on the people who push this. Remember, guys, it's not the retail traders. It's not you and me who push this market around. We're the little birds, right? We are the little birds. What happened? It's like out in the wilderness, right? What happens? The zebras are running across, or the buffaloes are running across, and what happens? The lion comes and takes the buffalo down, or takes the zebra down, right? Starts to rip it apart. We're the little birds, right? We go. We come down, take a little bit and run away, right? We don't push this market around. You and me, we don't push this market around. So the people who literally have billions and billions of dollars, whether you call them machines or whether you call them humans, it doesn't matter. They are the thing that are pushing this market around, and it's up to us to see what is the footprint that they are doing right now, and let's make decisions based on that. Make sense? Not based off, well, I think the market's going to crash because I think. What is the footprint of what the big guys are doing right now? And all I mean by that is that we can just goes down to simple analysis of what's actually happening in the markets. So if we use that, what are the big boys thinking and feeling instead of the retail traders, we can actually see by looking at the S&P 500 here, we can see that it actually had, let me actually zoom right in here. We can actually see we actually had a complete rejection here twice, right? We came down and we came straight back up. We came down and then we came straight back up. So by looking at this here, we actually had a complete rejection and a strong reversal to the upside. if we start to really break above and if we start to really break above sort of this level here, which actually does look like we could have a good possibility of actually doing that. We start to break above these levels here. We could be getting ready for a really, really, really big move in the market. And so we could see this level 3. Now, what also this could be, is that correct? Is that correct grammatically? Is that grammatically correct for you guys? Is this all? I can't even talk English anymore. Anyway, so this also could be, let's take this off the screen here for a minute. So this also could be, and let's do this here. We could have a move up. This also could be some sort of a flag formation somewhere through here, right? Something like that. That could also be a bit of a flag formation happening right now. Looking at this S&P 500 right now. So that's the small picture there. Bit of a double bottom, bit of a bull flag. If we actually start to break above these sort of, I'd have to say that 4,180 level, then we're probably going to see a nice move back to the upside. So that's the small picture there. But if we have a look at the big picture, right, the small pictures, that's that 3 months. If we have a look at, say, the last 1 year, or maybe even squeeze it up for the last couple of years, right? Now we can see a much more we can get a much more definite picture on what's actually really going on here. And so what is really going on here? So firstly, we're probably going to we've got some sort of a channel happening place right now. There you go. I told you guys I can't talk this morning. I'm doing this recording at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we can see, look at this here, right? So we can see that we've had this on this big picture. What's going on here on this big picture? So firstly, we have what? We have this low. Now look what's happening, right? We're developing this sideways movement through here. So that tells me that once we start to really break above sort of these levels through here, then we could actually be getting ready for a really big move to the upside. And the reason why is because you can see we've actually pretty much been doing nothing for actually quite a long time. You've been going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Where it's like, which way? Now, what happens when we get this sort of pattern? When it breaks, we end up breaking strong, right? We end up having a really big, strong move because it's been doing really nothing. We haven't been going up, haven't been going down, right? And a lot of people that are guessing right now, it's going to go down, it's going to go down. Okay, well, the footprint right now is not saying that. But if we see what's going on here right now on the markets, we can see it's pretty much not doing nothing. It's pretty much not doing anything right now, not doing nothing. There's a bit of a saying for you, right? So, and if I use an example of if I use an example of when Trump was being elected, right? Like, look at this back here. And I'm using this as an example of when the market does nothing for quite some time. So we can see here, look at this here. See how the market, now this is a weekly chart here, by the way, guys. So you can see here for a good couple of years, this is 2015, 2016. Look at here, see how it did nothing? And then guess what? When we actually started the break, we end up going for a big move, right? So if I go back to the daily charts and I go back to what's happening right now, you can actually see what? We're doing the exact same thing, right? Sort of the same thing. We haven't been really doing anything for quite some time. So when we do start the break, it actually could break and trend really, 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 really hard. And right now, as I speak, it looks like it's going to be to the upside. So we actually could be getting a very strong move to the upside coming out of this. And yeah, who knows? We could, again, we could see possibly even to the top of this other channel here, right? Or to this other side of this channel that I got right here. So we could see possibly 5,000, 5,500. John, you are nuts. What are you on? It's like, I'm just looking at the charts, right? If this channel does play out, then we could be through there. Let's go look at the Dow Jones. And the Dow Jones, now look what's happening here on the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, we've been in this sort of, really been in this overall sort of sideways, sort of a big bull flag through here, so to speak, right? And that's probably not the right way to do it, right? We probably have maybe say through there, and then you can see we also had that through there, right? So a bit of a flag formation. We had this big move up through here, so a bit of a bull flag formation. But within this big bull flag formation, look what's happening here. We also can see what? We also can see that it's actually ran up, right? We ran up. Now look what's happening, right? We're developing what? Another bull flag through here. You see how I can, when I squeeze my charts up like this, I actually can get a much more better understanding of what the market is telling me when I'm trying to see the patterns. Sometimes when we're really up close like this, right? See how it looks a lot different. Right? It's like, what is this? Is this not too quite sure, right? Now, what I do say this is definitely a low, and then this is a definitely significant higher low in the market. And as you can see, once we break this up through here, we can see that we're definitely squeezing up, and there's a lot of buying, right? There's a lot of buying that's coming into play right now when it comes to these markets through here. So again, we're squeezing up. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys. This Dow Jones, the level for me, there's more like a diagonal level. So it's possibly through, I'd have to say somewhere through there. And it looks like as you can see, there's a massive triangle pattern that's been forming here. Squeezing up now, because we've already got this low point through here. We've got this low point through here, and we've got all that squeezing up pattern through there. So this is one, we're developing these higher lows. So the footprint of the big guys is what? They're pushing this market higher. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what the GDP report says the market's going to go down. What are the big boys thinking and feeling right now? That's all that matters, right? As a trader, that is, right? As a trader. So we can see that this low and this high low. So if we start to really break out of this level here, remember I said before, guys, when the market does nothing for quite some time, look at all this level through here, right? Look at all of that. What is that? And how long has that been? The Dow Jones has been doing nothing for about 6 months. So once we start to break up and out here, we could actually start to see a really, really, really big move coming in the markets, because not only has it been doing nothing for here, which is 6 months, it's really been doing nothing for quite some time, really starting back from, the middle of last year, right? All that through there really has been doing nothing. So it really has been going sideways now for almost 1 year. So that tells me, by looking at this and looking how strong it looks, and again, guys, this is the overall chart here. If we bring up something like the weekly charts, and I show you what the weekly charts are looking at, look what the weekly charts are doing. Like, people are like saying, crash, 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 so bad. So, like, if everything is so bad, why is the Dow Jones actually not that far from its all-time highs? When you see how we look at the big picture thing, right? So when we actually bring up our trend lines from here, this is actually not that far from all-time new highs. And again, that'll be the trend line that I have to use. So that tells me that if we start to break up, we could be getting ready for a really big move to the upside. We could actually see, a 40,000+ print by the end of this year. But again, guys, what could also this be? Is that? What could also this be? Does it? I'm saying that out loud. Is that even right? This could also be. Oh my goodness. So we could. This also could be. What could also this be? We have a big move up, and then we've had this overall move sort of like down like this, right? This could also be what? A massive pennant, a massive flag formation on the weekly charts, right? Because remember, guys, if this was a really, 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 really bad market and the market was definitely going to crash, we would see what? We would see something like that happening in the markets, ever going down, down, down. So since we started to see this market not do that, guess what? We could be seeing up and up. And due to the fact that so many people are so negative in these markets right now, market crash, blah, blah, blah. I'm not too quite sure, right? The footprint right now that I'm looking at with the footprint here says, you know what? The footprint says the big guys, the big boys right now, they're probably just, they've gone to sleep for 12 months, but then when they wake up, which that whole seller may go away thing, that may be still in place, right? We may be even getting ready for something like this. Let's take this off the screen here. We may be even getting ready for something like this. It might just go sideways like this, and then starts to see a really big move up, right? And then we develop even a bigger bull flag through there, and then away we go from there. Move over now through to the good old Nasdaq, and look on the short-term Nasdaq. Look what happened here, right? The good old Nasdaq, complete strong rejection. We have a low point through here, higher low. Look what happened here, right? Came down, boom, back up. What are the big boys thinking and feeling when it comes to the tech stocks? Well, look at this here. Low, another strong higher low, right? And now we're almost breaking above this level through here. So tech stocks could be getting ready for a really strong move out of this level here. So, because tech stocks have been the one that's been hit the hardest, right? So if we have a look at the actual tech stocks, the tech stocks are down from their highs, around about 40%. And now we're just doing this through here. So that's that small picture through there. Complete rejection, completely strong, a strong reversal in the markets could actually a strong reversal in the markets, which is happening right now, could also mean that we're getting ready to have a nice move back to the upside. And so, but once again, let me squeeze this chart up once again. We can see how, and I'm trying to get just a much bigger view here. We can see how that we're developing through there. And again, this is sort of that, I'd have to use that as let's use that as the trend line right now, from that point there to that point there, as you can see. And maybe even if I bring it through there somewhere, from there to there. So you can see that point through there, right? So yeah, we could actually be getting a bit more of a backing and filling pattern, right? A backing and filling pattern is obviously when it does this, right? Back and filling, and then we actually start to see a move back up from there. So we're definitely starting to get a really, the overall major trend has actually changed on the Nasdaq. The overall major trend has changed on the Nasdaq, and we need to keep an eye out for this, because the market is actually talking to us right now, and we just don't want to fight it. So what I mean by the overall trend is this. We had a low, lower high, double bottom, lower high. Look at this here. Higher high, higher low. So now we're starting to see this overall trend to the upside in these markets. And again, we just don't want to be fighting it when it comes to that level through there on the good old Nasdaq. Let's go have a look at the mining sector right now. So we can see here on the mining sector that we had a very strong move up. This is the GDXJ now. We had a very strong move up. If I bring up my moving average and I squeeze my charts up a little bit more, the first thing I do see is that we had a strong move up and we had a strong move down through here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if I bring on my actual trend lines through here. I wouldn't be too surprised to see the gold mining stocks probably have a bit more of a backing and filling pattern. Once again, guys, a backing and filling pattern just simply means that it's got a bit more sideways movement to go before we actually start to see a next move. So we could start to see this moving average coming up through here, right? And a bit more of a backing and filling, probably maybe for another week. And then when we do break out, then we're probably going to see a really big move up into, if we get something like this happening. So this week, if we do get the backing and filling, and then maybe next week we start to get the breakout, then we could start to see a really strong move back up towards the 65 level on the GDXJ pretty quickly. So if you are in the mining sector, you'll actually probably want to see a bit more backing and filling, because it's going to allow the market to rest a little bit more, and therefore get ready to have another move up from there. So that's the GDXJ from there. Let's go look at the GDX. And the GDX is a very similar pattern to the GDXJ. We can see how that, again, we wait for the moving average to catch up. I don't believe we're ready yet to have another big move up. I believe we're going to have a bit more of a backing and filling pattern through here, and then we start to break up, and then we start to see a move back to the upside from there. So the GDX from there in that point through there. Let's go look at the SIL. And the silver mining stocks are really interesting, because we are definitely getting a nice strong bounce where we are right now. So what we want to see with these mining stocks is we definitely want to see, especially the SIL, we really want to see a strong close above. Yeah, probably even through that level through there as well too, right? So we really want to get a strong close above these resistance levels here, 32 level. Once we get that, then we're pretty nice and free and clear to the upside. We have been slowly making a move to the upside through here, but it's not strong enough yet, right? The silver mining stocks have really been lagging a lot. The gold mining stocks are really gaining some strength. But if the silver mining stocks really start to break above this level through here, then we can start to see a really strong move to the upside. Looking at the SIL through there, let's look at the SILJ. And again, the SILJ came down to a 50% Fibonacci level. If I zoom in a bit more, you can see it actually came down to a 50% Fibonacci level. And so we're just holding through here. And again, this one's actually squeezing up into a bit of a pattern through here as well. So we can take that off the screen. We can see we're squeezing up into a bit of a pattern, let's actually do this level through here, right? So that'll be the level through there somewhere. So probably through there. Yep. So one thing I'm looking at here is we're probably, again, looking at this level through here, if we can start to, what we want to see here is we want to see this bit of a backing filling and then a breakout above these highs up here. If we can get a break above $12 on the SILJ, then that would also, there's also a strong level of resistance around that area through there. So there's very, very, very strong areas of resistance. If we do break up above, we're going to be breaking above 2 levels of strong resistance in the markets, right? So resistance number 1 is obviously this one through here. And then obviously this is you can see all the resistance and support back through here as well too. So if we do get a break above that through there, right, we get something like this through here, then again, we could see a nice big strong move back up towards the 1819 level, 1890 or the 1819 level pretty quickly there. Let's go have a look at the silver market. And silver market, really good, strong breakout out of this overall downward channel that we've been in for a long time. So for me personally, guys, looking at this market through here, I believe we need just a bit more, it looks like the overall mining sector and stuff like that, because we've had such a big move up, it looks like to me it's going to be a bit of a resting week for it. I could be wrong, but see this level coming up through here, right? Start to get just a little bit more backing and filling, maybe a few days to maybe another week. And then I believe we're gonna be getting ready to have another move back to the upside as well too. And so looking at the gold market as well, the exact same sort of thing through here. If I actually, let me zoom in on gold here for a minute. So gold, once again, guys, we can see how that we're through that level through there. So if we continue this moving average coming up through there, we had a one move up, and now we come through here. If we get this second break on gold, once we get something like that, guys, we could see gold actually start to have a really big slingshot move to the upside, I believe. So gold may have another couple of sideways days through here, but once we do get that strong breakout on gold, then we're probably going to have more of a channel projected target coming in play. So what I mean by that is that once we actually break above here, we're probably going to see, looking at this through here, this is more like you measure from the high of the channel down to the low of the channel, and then you actually bring it back to the upside through there. So we're probably going to see, yep, we're going to see that. There we go. We're going to see this here, and away we go. Right, pretty cool. So it looks like we're going to see probably, I'd have to say that'll be the 2,400 level, but to me, probably the 2,500, only because it's a good solid round number. So once we break above here, guys, gold is probably going to start to see a really strong move for a good couple of months, which could be a really good trading opportunity, guys, right? So there could be a really good trading opportunity. I'm a long-term investing in gold, so it's good for me. I have been now for a long time. And but looking at this level through here, we could be getting ready for a break. And once we do break again, guys, it could be a really good trading opportunity to take advantage of a really big, strong breakout coming out in gold. So there we go, traders. I hope you enjoyed today's session there. Traders, if you do need my help personally, again, I'm giving away access to that Super Trader Formula. What that is all about is that when you go over to johnsstf.com, that second link in the description there, guys, click on that. Go over, put your email address in. You'll see a short-term video. You'll see a short video about what the actual Super Trader Formula is. Then you'll actually be able to book a call with me personally, and then I'll see if you're actually a good fit for me as what I'm looking for. But I'll be personally walking you through the Super Trader Formula, and what that is all about is that this is the formula that I had to use. That was the step 1, step 2, step 3. What was the actual steps that I needed to take in order to become successful in these markets, and what I had to start to focus on most importantly, because if you don't even have your step number 1 right, which is more like your foundations, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 is not going to matter. You might be on step 5 right now, but you haven't got step 1 right, step number 1 right. And you're probably wondering why you're actually not moving forward and why you're struggling. This is actually a big thing for me. It wasn't until my mentor sat me down and said, okay, step number 1 is this. This is it. If you are progressing into the market and you don't even have this number 1 set down, then you're kidding yourself. You actually want to be successful. So once I actually understand what I call the formula, then I can start to go to work on the systems and the strategies and the processes and so on and so forth that I need to do. And that's what really helped me. And so therefore I'm giving away free access to that. And again, I'll be personally walking you through that, because you may already have step number 1 and step number 2 down. So then I'll be continue helping you with that journey. You may not even have a really good formula right now and you're struggling. So therefore on the phone, I'll be personally finding out where you are, what's happening, and then also how can we insert you into that super trader formula to make sure that you're taking the right steps so you can actually start to make good progress in the markets.